Hello and welcome to Local Edition. I'm Leslie Leyton. For a guy who wants to have a high neighbor kind of city, he's certainly finding himself living in a can't we just get along kind of town. We welcome now the mayor of Anaheim, Tom Tait. Thank you very much for being here.
Oh, it's good to be here.
You're still maintaining this cheerful disposition, but you've had a lot going on in terms of people not getting along. There's a lot of friction, a lot of pockets of towns, pockets in the town where there's racial issues. Some areas don't like the police. Lots going on.
There's a lot going on, and I'm glad you started out with High Neighbor, because that is what's going to get us through all this thing, is people come together as neighbors in kindness, and the people are going to get us through this. We're having some issues at City Hall. Council, we don't always get along, but that's all right. That's what the political process is about.
Well, you're trying something so that the whole community, the city as one, can get along, and by the way to do it you're proposing is to have individual pockets of the city be able to vote for their city council representative on their own rather than vote for all of the candidates at large.
Anaheim has an election system at large. That means 350,000 people, every council member has to reach out to 350,000 people. I would like to see a districting, but at the very least, I'd like to ask the people of Anaheim to vote on that. And how do they want to be governed? I think it's the most fundamental question. So right now at large, it would be, this nation is based on a district voting system. Our Congress and the Senate, in the state, the Assembly and the state Senate's all district, counties, district. But when we get down to Anaheim, it's at large. It would be similar to our senator in California being elected by people in New York. It just doesn't make a lot of sense and doesn't bring the government close to the people.
But you're getting friction even on the city council board as far as how to get this on the ballot, how to put it to the people to decide.
Well, we had something called a Citizens Advisory Commission study this issue. Came back and they said there's disagreement on whether to have at-large or districting, which reasonable people can differ, but they all agreed to put it on the ballot. Let the people decide how they want to be governed. It came to the council majority decided, no, we don't want to ask them whether they want districts. Instead, they said, let's keep it at large, but adjust that somewhat.
So that's where it stands right now.
That's where it stands, and meanwhile, there's a lawsuit going on, which is unfortunate, because if we just ask the people, if the people decide for districting, it would make that whole thing moot, and we'd save a lot of money and move on and have a government closer to the people.
One of the other things you've been trying to do is bring the police closer together with the community, and you had proposed a citizens oversight committee to make it seem fair that the citizens are working with the police to have a better environment. How is that going?
Well, that's been stalled a little bit. We've asked the city manager to come to us with a proposal, best practices. There's all sorts of different type of citizen review commissions of police departments throughout the nation, and she's looking for best practices. In the defense of the city manager, she's brand new. So we just have a brand new city manager in Marcy Edwards, so she's kind of has some a little education to pick up on. So hopefully within the next 2 or 3 months, she'll come back with her proposal.
But you're not going to stop trying to get people to work together in your city.
Well, that's what it's all about. And again, politics and the council, that's where people disagree, and that's you don't want a council that agrees on everything all the time. But as far as people coming together, that's the community, and really pushing this high neighbor, get to know one another, come together, and that's where we get our strength.
Can't blame you for trying.
Hey, absolutely.
Thank you very much, Tom Tait, for being here. And
thank you, Leslie.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Leslie Leyton.